Let's begin with the first major headline of the day. Reports have surfaced that Khabib Nurmagomedov's private conversation has been leaked, and it centers around his close friend and protege, Islam Makhachev's next big career move. The leak came through Islam's longtime teammate and podcast host, Josh Thompson, who accidentally revealed details that have caught the MMA community's attention. According to Josh, Khabib privately expressed serious concerns about Islam moving up to the welterweight division to face Jack Della Maddalena, JDM. While many fans see this matchup as winnable for the lightweight champion, Team Khabib is not entirely convinced that it will be smooth sailing. This hesitation becomes clearer when looking back at Khabib's own career. Despite being a dominant force at lightweight and even discussing a move to 170 with his late father, Khabib never made that jump. His retirement, which followed the tragic passing of his father, also coincided with an era when Kamaru Usman reigned supreme at welterweight, a nightmare stylistic matchup as a dominant wrestler. Team Khabib wasn't eager to pursue that challenge at the time. Now, however, things have shifted. The welterweight throne is held not by a wrestler but by a dangerous striker, which changes the landscape entirely. Still, Khabib has cautioned that this doesn't make the challenge any less dangerous. At 34 years old, Islam understands that his window of opportunity is narrowing. He wants to leave the sport on his own terms, without suffering a devastating loss that could tarnish his legacy. With only one defeat on his record, adding another is not a risk he or his team take lightly. Josh shared that Khabib described this upcoming clash as the toughest fight of Islam's career. He pointed out that JDM is explosive, highly skilled on the feet, and although his takedown defense isn't flawless, his ability to spring back up is remarkable. Adding to the challenge, JDM is a big, physically strong fighter, which poses serious problems for anyone in the division. Khabib admitted he has seen Islam handle bigger training partners, even 205-pounders, with ease. Still, he stressed that this fight is different. Under the bright lights against a dangerous striker, every mistake matters. That's why Team Khabib is approaching this fight with maximum caution, despite public expectations of another dominant Makhachev performance. So while fans may anticipate another routine win, Khabib has made it clear this is not just another fight. This could very well be Islam Makhachev's greatest test yet. Moving to another news, Colby Covington is back in the headlines, and this time he's taking aim at Khamzat Chimaev, following Chimaev's dominant UFC title-winning performance over Dricus du Plessis. Never one to hold back, Covington acknowledged Chimaev's undeniable skills inside the octagon, but quickly shifted focus to controversy outside of it. In classic Covington fashion, he went on the offensive, blasting Chimaev for his alleged involvement in a crypto scam, even going as far as to call him a piece of dirt, despite the fact that Chimaev now holds UFC gold. Covington's remarks have added more fuel to an already heated debate surrounding Chimaev. While his performances inside the cage have been nothing short of extraordinary, his growing success continues to be overshadowed by questions about his actions beyond it. The controversy stems from Chimaev's alleged promotion of a meme coin that left many fans financially devastated. Reports claim that after insiders cashed out their holdings, the coin's value plummeted, wiping out the savings of everyday investors. For someone in Chimaev's position, critics argue that using his influence to promote such a project, whether knowingly or not, was reckless and damaging to the very fan base that has supported his rise. Still, the story isn't entirely black and white. Chimaev's manager has publicly defended him, insisting that the fighter was misled and had no direct role in the financial collapse. According to his camp, Chimaev was not the mastermind behind the scheme, but rather a victim of bad information. This defense has created a deeper debate. Was Chimaev careless in lending his name to something he didn't fully understand, or was he simply caught in a trap set by others? That's the question fans continue to debate as the fallout unfolds. Meanwhile, inside the octagon, Chimaev's momentum remains unstoppable. Just last month he dismantled du Plessis to capture the middleweight championship, adding yet another milestone to his already impressive career. Though his first title defense has not yet been booked, anticipation is building. The UFC's upcoming event in Paris could provide answers, as Nassourdine Imavov and Caio Borrello are set to clash. The winner of that bout is expected to be positioned as a top contender for Chimaev's belt. For Chimaev, the stakes have never been higher. If he continues his reign of dominance, he has the potential to silence critics and solidify his legacy as one of the most dangerous champions of this era. But if controversies persist, they could overshadow everything he achieves. Covington's comments highlight this growing tension. Chimaev's brilliance in the cage stands in sharp contrast to the scandals that threaten to define him outside of it. Every move he makes now carries weight, shaping not just his career, but also how the MMA world views him in the years ahead. Moving to another news. Tom Aspinall is preparing for the biggest challenge of his career, his first UFC title defense against Cyril Gane, but while his immediate focus remains on the octagon, there's growing discussion behind the scenes about his future, and whether that future could eventually include a switch to boxing for a massive payday. Interestingly, this conversation isn't just being driven by fans or pundits, it's coming directly from Aspinall's father and coach, Andy Aspinall, who recently addressed the subject on their YouTube channel. Andy made it clear that Tom's current priority is defending his UFC heavyweight belt and headlining major events in the UK, with talks of another fight possibly lined up for January. However, he acknowledged the reality every fighter eventually faces: the financial disparity between MMA and boxing. While UFC champions are among the most elite athletes in the world, their earnings fall dramatically short compared to what top-level boxers take home. Andy didn't mince words, saying that boxers can make 100 times more than UFC champions, and he believes his son deserves a share of that wealth. For Andy, the matter isn't just about chasing glory, it's about securing Tom's long-term future. He explained that the fight game is one of the most dangerous professions on the planet, and while Tom has already made good money, the ultimate goal should be to walk away healthy, wealthy, and able to enjoy life with his 3 children. In his view, championships and accolades mean little if they come at the cost of his son's health. Andy even admitted he wouldn't be upset if Tom decided to retire tomorrow. To him, true success would be Tom stepping away before the sport takes too much from him, allowing him to spend time with family and pursue life outside of fighting. At the same time, Andy recognizes that Tom is still in his prime and hungry to prove himself. He supports his son's ambition to continue testing himself against the best heavyweights in the world, but the bigger picture remains clear: maximize his prime years, secure the financial rewards that reflect his talent, and then bow out on his own terms. For Andy Aspinall, making it isn't defined by title defenses or historic wins, it's about Tom retiring healthy, financially secure, and ready to begin the next chapter of his life, a vision that resonates deeply in a sport where careers can end in the blink of an eye. Moving to another news. Chael Sonnen has once again sparked conversation in the MMA world, this time by floating the idea of a matchup that few fans had openly discussed, but one that could potentially redefine the sport: Islam Makhachev versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. According to Sonnen, if Makhachev successfully gets past Jack Della Maddalena, this fight could become one of the most significant clashes in UFC history. The intrigue lies not just in the stakes, but in the stylistic puzzle this matchup presents. Islam Makhachev is widely regarded as one of the most dominant grapplers in modern MMA. His relentless wrestling pressure, suffocating control, and unmatched ability to dictate pace have made him a nightmare for opponents. Across from him, however, would stand Shavkat Rakhmonov, an undefeated welterweight with a flawless record, elite striking precision, calm composure under fire, and a suffocating offensive style of his own. The question marks surrounding such a fight are endless: who lands cleaner? Who wins the battle of range and kicks? Who shoots first? And who can actually keep the other down? And perhaps most importantly, who can maintain energy and composure in the championship rounds? Beyond the technical breakdown, the regional and cultural factors would elevate this fight into something far bigger than just another UFC headliner. Makhachev is already a national hero in Dagestan and across the Caucasus, while Rakhmonov carries the pride of Kazakhstan on his shoulders. Their potential clash would not only draw fans from Russia and Central Asia, but unite millions of viewers across the Eurasian region. This wouldn't just be a fight, it would be a cultural event. For Makhachev, such a bout would be legacy-defining. Moving up in weight, defeating JDM, and then taking on an undefeated monster like Rakhmonov would cement him as a 2-division conqueror and solidify his status as one of the greatest to ever step into the cage. For Shavkat, the narrative would be equally powerful. Defeating the reigning lightweight king turned welterweight contender would instantly elevate him into superstardom and prove he belongs at the very top of the sport. Sonnen also pointed out the dilemma this matchup would create for the UFC. Both fighters are rising stars, both have massive fan bases, and both are crucial for the promotion's future. Pairing them up means risking the aura of one to boost the other, but as Sonnen emphasized, this is the fight business, and sometimes those risks are exactly what create legends. Islam versus Shavkat isn't just a dream fight, it's a perfect storm of skill, storyline, cultural weight, and unpredictability, the exact ingredients that make MMA unforgettable. Moving to another news. Rampage Jackson is facing heavy backlash following his recent comments on social media about a violent incident involving his son, Raja. On Monday night, Rampage released a lengthy statement that alternated between sharp criticism of his son and a strong defense of him. He addressed the altercation involving a man named Smith, who was hospitalized after the confrontation, framing the situation with the phrase, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." According to Rampage, the lesson his son Raja delivered was simple: keep your hands to yourself. He explained that Smith had allegedly struck Raja over the head with a beer can just one day after Raja suffered a concussion during sparring. Rampage argued that, under those circumstances, he would not have cared if a group of pro wrestlers had jumped in. As he put it bluntly, "I'm a father first." He further described Smith as a drunk and suggested that the altercation was not the first time Smith had been involved in such reckless behavior. Rampage even claimed that Raja should have gone to the police after the initial incident, which might have led to legal action against Smith. Throughout his statement, Rampage vented frustration at what he called low IQ people who were falling for clickbait narratives about his son. He expressed exhaustion over staying quiet while his family was dragged into the spotlight. Yet ironically, Rampage has not remained silent. Since the incident, he has gone live multiple times on streaming platforms, defending Raja and directly addressing the controversy in real time. Despite Rampage's defense, his explanation sparked a wave of online criticism. Many fans felt his attempt to justify Raja's actions crossed the line. One fan broke down the situation point by point, noting that the beer can was not real, and even if it had been, an immediate retaliation would have been a non-issue. Instead, Raja shook hands with Smith and later plotted an attack, which was caught clearly on 4K video and audio. According to critics, if no one had intervened, the assault could have escalated to first-degree murder. Other commenters added that playing the victim is not a defense for attempted violence. Many argued that Rampage's efforts to shift blame away from his son and onto Smith lacked credibility. Some even said, the apple does not fall far from the tree, accusing both Rampage and Raja of trying to portray themselves as victims. In the end, Rampage's attempt to shield his son from criticism only deepened the controversy. Rather than extinguishing the flames, his words have fueled even greater debate about accountability, responsibility, and the dangers of excusing violent behavior. Moving to another news. The MMA community is buzzing after Diego Lopes revealed his incredible body transformation ahead of his upcoming fight with Gene Silva on the Noah UFC card later this month. Known for his exciting fighting style and experience at the highest levels of the sport, Lopes has stunned fans by showing up absolutely shredded with a physique that has quickly become a major talking point online. The reactions from fans came pouring in as soon as new photos of Lopes surfaced. One fan expressed amazement by writing USADA fighters are more ripped than ever. Another took a lighter approach, joking that Lopes looked like a villain straight out of a GTA game, but admitted they were a big fan of his regardless. The same fan added that while they support Lopes, they cannot count Gene Silva out, hoping that the better man will emerge victorious on fight night. Many supporters were quick to defend Lopes against skeptics, reminding everyone of his proven resume. "I don't know why people are writing off Diego," one fan argued. "He has way more experience against top-level fighters and championship-caliber competition." Another chimed in with admiration for his conditioning, saying, "That physique is crazy, especially those legs. His shape is insane." Several commenters even predicted a dominant performance, with one confidently posting, "The nerds are about to take another loss." Still, not everyone was impressed by Lopes' transformation. Some fans questioned whether being this lean so early in training camp was a positive sign. One sarcastic comment read, "Fighter in good shape during training camp, oh wow, never would have guessed." Another fan expressed cautious excitement, stating, "If this dude beats Gene Silva, I'll forever be a fan." Supporters of Gene Silva also pushed back strongly, reminding everyone that appearances aren't everything in MMA. One Silva fan bluntly declared, "All that just to get slept," suggesting that Silva's knockout power and dangerous skill set would neutralize Lopes' improved physique. As fight night draws closer, anticipation continues to build. Both fighters look sharp and motivated, and with emotions running high among their fan bases, the stakes could not be greater. Lopes' transformation has added another layer of intrigue to an already exciting matchup. While some fans view it as a sign of renewed focus and dominance, others caution against reading too much into appearances. One thing is certain, when Lopes and Silva finally meet in the octagon, fans can expect fireworks.